and I wanted to share a story that happened to me a month ago. It's a very true story, and it's something that changed my life for the better. And I have it all written down, kind of not really scripted, but scripted. So I'm gonna start reading. I was dealing with a lot of shoplifters. For backstory, I work at a store, and we get all kinds of shoplifters and whatnot. I was dealing with a lot of shoplifters, and I had to chase down. This happens every day, and I'm tired of it. When I got home, I stayed up late praying about it, asking God different questions, and one of them was, can everybody be redeemed? Can everybody be redeemed? The following day at work, I went out on my break, and I met this guy, and at first he started talking about how much cash he won on a scratcher, but he couldn't get it himself because of the time in prison. He was in prison for 37 years for meth and whatnot. He also was in a lot of gangs. He even got locked up as a kid for breaking into homes. He even showed me his prison tattoos. He said he was abused as a kid by his stepfather, and one day he found out where the stepfather lived. He went outside behind a bush, and he was ready to kill him. Then he said out of nowhere, something hit him. He said it was God. He asked God not to take his stepdad to hell for what he did to him, because he finally forgave him for all the terrible things he did to him. Then he started crying, saying he misses his mom. He regrets all the... Sorry. He started crying. He misses his mom. He regrets all the bad things he's done. He said he should have been by his mother's side like a good boy. That's literally what I prayed for. I spoke to God today through this guy. It was crazy. I had this feeling inside me afterwards that I can't even explain except for it's crazy. He then said sorry for taking up my time, but he felt like he needed to tell somebody, and that somebody was me, the guy who prayed for it. And I got my answer. Yes, everybody can be redeemed. It truly shows how sorry he was for telling this to a stranger, especially for saying sorry afterwards. But he needed to get it out. I got a little emotional there, dude. I ain't even gonna lie. It's crazy. And it really, it gave me a new perspective on people, right? It shows me that, yeah, everybody can be redeemed. Now, it doesn't mean that they will get redeemed. I feel like you have to accept it into your heart for it to be able to work. Right? I don't think it's something that just happens to you. I think you have to accept it into your heart. So 2 years ago, actually a little less than that, I was the worst time in my entire life. I very low in time for me. I lost all of my faith, right? In fact, I was extremely pissed off at God because I blamed him for a lot of the stuff that, happened to me. And I cussed at him. I said all these horrible things to him. And I went as far as to telling other believers that they were childish for believing in this stuff. Time passes. I was laying in bed. It was like at 3 in the morning. And out of nowhere, I felt this thing happen to me. It just like felt like something just went straight into my chest. And the only thing I can think of is, this is God. And I was wrong to blame him for all the things that, it wasn't his fault. It was at that moment I realized it wasn't his fault. I had this feeling of light warmth. It was crazy, dude. I can't even put the feeling into words. But it was crazy, dude. And that's similar to what this guy went through out of nowhere. It just came here, except I fucking knew that I wanted to accept God into my heart. I just needed to blame somebody, so I blamed him for the stuff that wasn't even his fault. Because a part of human nature, you always feel like you need to point the blame towards somebody or something. Oh, it's their fault, it's this fault. But in some cases, such as this, there isn't anybody to actually blame, because it wasn't anybody's fault. What happened, happened. That's life. Shit happens, and you need to, accept it. I'm kind of rambling on, but I think my point is getting across. God is good. God is real. Stay prayed up, dude. Every single night when I, come home from the gym or work, I always go, protect me, make sure I get home safe. And every single time I come home, safe, unharmed. Just remember, God is always going to have your back. Even if you turn your back on him, he will still have yours. But God is real. Trust in him, and you'll be alright. But God is real. Trust in him, and you'll be alright.